G'day everyone, it is Jai, that Aussie metal guy here with Crannk.com. So tonight, wherever you are in the world, I'm absolutely stoked to be joined by two incredibly talented members of the Dutch symphonic metal storytellers Blackbriar. With me are the hauntingly powerful voice of the band Zora and the rhythmic heartbeat behind the kit, René. These guys are due to release A Thousand Little Deaths drops August 22nd via Nuclear Blast, and it's an absolute pleasure to get to chat to you both. Thank you so very much.
Oh, thank
It's
you so
good to be
much.
here, man.
Yeah.
Thanks for having us.
It's an absolute pleasure. I come across you guys with your last album and that got the PR for it. Played you a fair bit on the radio. Really, really enjoyed it. And it gave me a chance then to kind of go back into the storytelling for what you guys make out. And then when this album released with the singles and that, it was really, really great to kind of dive into this album as well. You guys have a really rich and emotionally charged sound to you. From your perspective as a lyricist and vocalist, Zora, where did the concept for the album begin?
Um, I usually don't plan beforehand on where I want the album to go to. So, and all of these songs are actually just separate stories and have all separate inspirations. But while I was writing, some songs did make a connection to each other in my mind. But it's not a concept album, but it secretly is.
I do got to mention there because you did say some songs have a connection to it, and I was watching some of the film clips, and it may have been mentioned, but the animation for Harpy, and then you're kind of sitting there with the Ouija board, and then the fossilized widow, you're kind of sitting there with that table, and although it is the blank Ouija board, you've got the piece for that as well there.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I really wanted to do something like that with the music videos, then having this connection. Yeah. Um, yeah.
yeah. It is the Ouija board itself. Obviously, the fossilized widow, so frozen in time, and that's why Sora's hand doesn't move on the Ouija board. But yeah, it was like we were looking for something that would basically have one video move into the other video. And
Yeah.
the only way we could think of was doing it by animation. And yeah, that's what turned out pretty well, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, I enjoyed that part.
Yeah,
Getting
well,
a real harpy was difficult, right?
Yeah,
the
we couldn't
hard, yeah.
find a real harpy.
So that had to do. So Renee, from a drummer's perspective, can you tell me were there any key emotions or dynamics you were wanting to bring to life rhythmically with this record?
Well, I do actually write the music completely
Yep.
myself as a drummer, which is might be a little bit weird, but so I'm not just working on the drums. Actually,
Yep.
as a drummer, that's probably the last thing I'm working on.
Okay.
So first writing the music, all the guitars and the drums and everything. Um, yeah, I usually get inspired by Zora, and mainly by her vocals and her melodies. And all I'm trying to do is just emphasize everything that she comes up with in the music. So I try to glue the music to Zora's voice instead of the other way around. Everything starts with Zora's voice, and then the music is being written to it. It's not the other way around, which is more traditional, I think. But for us, this works perfectly, and I think that is a huge part of our sound. And yeah, it's a slightly different approach, but it works for us.
Yes, so t tell me a little bit about more about that, Sora, with the songwriting side of things, because it is kind of a little bit different having you come in with the voice first and the music after. How do you go? You said each track is kind of really different from the other. It's not a concept, but is there
Mm.
any like themes or anything you want to explore when going to these albums? Like, because storytelling is massive for you guys, and you can see it and hear it across all your albums.
Yeah, you do usually get inspired by the same stuff, historical events, folklore, books, and my personal life as well a lot. And I always start with the lyrics first. And when I finish the whole lyrics, I start just putting on my microphone and sing a melody to it and record it a cappella. And it's very nice because I get all the freedom without yeah, needing to listen to music and make something on the music. So that's what's very nice about it. And I usually also already make all the choirs, the harmonies and such to make the whole sound already, the atmospheres. I think that helps Renee sometimes, sometimes not.
Sometimes it helps and it doesn't help.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I said, it's for us, it's the way. We tried it the other way around when we were writing Fractured Fairy Tales EP. Our first EP. Before those songs were written, we did it the other way around. So it was music first, and then Sora would write something to it. And we never felt like it was us, and we never felt like it was something that we truly liked. It was better for the musicians and the guitarist and the drummer. It was more technical and cool music. However, Sora never really got the proper exposure within the music and band that she so rightly deserves. So we then she came up with Until Eternity, and it was just the melody and just the vocals, and she had actually herself recorded a piano that went like something like
No,
that.
I did it with my voice, I think.
Oh, with the voice, yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
And then that basically got the ball rolling into where we are today. So ever since we finished that song, I remember working with Bart, our guitarist, and I think Frank, our previous bass player, was also there, and Zora, and we were working on it. And I really felt like a light bulb moment there
Yeah,
when it
definitely.
was finished. Like, wow, this is amazing. We didn't know what it was. We didn't even know about symphonic metal as a genre. So we had no idea, honestly, that what we were doing would, be
Was
considered symphonic metal. All we knew was this sounds like us.
Mm.
Um, and that's where it started.
Yeah, well, definitely able to see Zora's voice grow to where she is now, to fully be able to express herself is definitely one of the most powerful voices in symphonic metal at the moment. It is really great to see. Does that make it easier with the songwriting process for you and Zora to communicate a lot through each other through these kind of platforms so that when you do go into the recording studio, is a pretty well set in the structure of the songs that you want to make? Does it that make it a lot easier, that process?
Well, to be honest, we write the music. We have different stages. So first,
Yep.
Sora, comes up with the melodies or the lyrics and the melodies. But as soon as I receive it, I will start working on the music, composing all the parts. But once we're finished with our draft of the song, which you could already consider to be a song from start to finish, then we take it to our producer, Joost van den Broek,
Yes.
and he will actually dissect the whole song and review it structurally, review it in terms of the arrangement and all the orchestration and the vocals, and that's where we basically dissect it and put it back together, but in a way for us that's very helpful because structurally sometimes these songs lack when we are done lack
Yeah, and
a
we
good
are
feel,
sometimes in like our own
a
bubble,
bubble.
and we
Yeah.
really need those other pair of ears eventually. Yeah.
Definitely.
Well,
So it's
does that help, pardon me, to have used as the staple for you guys to have that, be able to be kind of a little bit outside that bubble for that sound for you guys? Because he has worked with you guys for quite a bit now.
yeah, yeah. I mean, Joost jumped in after the release of our first EP. He was actually already slightly involved in the first EP because I remember calling him like, "Is this an okay mix?" And
Yeah.
he listened to it and he gave me some pointers, and that's where he was already sort of on our radar, or we were on his radar. It depends on how you look at it. Um, but yeah, we throughout the years we've learned so much from Joost. I mean, if literally songwriting itself by just working with him, it's been a massive progression in the right direction for us. Being able to understand our own music better because of him. And that's he needs some credits for that. We look at Joost as our seventh band member, and in the writing process, he's massively important. So.
And the
Um,
recording process has been very pleasant now as well, because we used to record our first EP. I remember recording it in my bedroom in the closet, you know, which was I thought it was very nice because I was all by myself and it was a nice feeling. But I wouldn't want it any other way with recording with Joost in the studio now. So that's very cool. Yeah.
Yeah, he's very good at making you feel comfortable, and
Mm,
he has,
very
I
patient,
think,
very much patient
exactly.
person
He's the most patient person I've ever met, I think. I couldn't do it, honestly.
here.
Especially working with myself, I couldn't do
Oh, I
it.
remember we were tried to record my vocals together in the past as well. We always got in a huge fight.
Yeah, I was just fighting, and
Yeah.
yeah, it's so different.
That's the way. We did touch on one of the singles, The Fossilized Widow. We will go through a couple of singles. It does feel like a really poetic eulogy wrapped in melody. Can you tell me a little bit about the lyrical imagery behind this album, this track, Sora?
Yeah. I just envisioned this girl, frozen in time, with her hand stuck on this Ouija board, and I just continue to see this image, and uh, that's where song was inspired. So just by my imagination, I guess. And we got to make a very cool music video with it. We went traveled to England, and there was a beautiful abandoned mansion where we got to use and got to play a ghost hunt.
Yeah, that was
Yeah,
fun.
yeah,
We
it was
didn't have
very
to
much.
play it. It was an actual ghost hunt,
Yeah,
I
it was
think.
actually.
Yeah, well, the
Yeah, it
film
was.
clips look amazing. They kind of do have that nod to Victorian storytelling
Mm.
and that kind of stuff. They're absolutely beautiful to watch as well. And the latest one as well, The Last Sire Bliss, they look really good and they kind of play out like a story as well when you watch them.
Yeah, that's
Thank you so
very
much.
intentional. Music, making music videos, because I don't know if you noticed, but we, do most of the work ourselves. So we
Yep.
film it ourselves, we produce it ourselves.
It's our
It,
second
it
passion. Yeah.
exactly. It's a massive passion besides the band and making music. We also do it for other artists and bands, but it is so rewarding being able to do this yourself because the funny thing about doing the music video herself is Sora actually could think of a song in her head, have the lyrics in her head, but she could also already envision or think about the music video.
Yeah, I
And
usually
there's
do
actually
that. Yeah.
songs that have been written on behalf of a music video idea.
Yeah.
So it is very cool that you can, be creative in so many different ways and on so many levels. We could fully express ourselves musically, visually. It is extremely important if you want to stand out. At least I like to think so.
Oh, definitely. They play out like a movie. Like I said, I was sitting
Exactly.
there thinking you could turn like Blackbriar, a Blackbriar album into a movie. So you just seem to have that
Exactly.
eye and to be able to have that freedom to fully express the storytelling with the music. And we have the platforms to be able to do that as well. It's absolutely
Exactly.
beautiful to watch. And talking about beautiful to watch, and here is I Buried Us. It's absolutely haunting, fragile, powerful, a great track as well. Tell us about that one.
It's about a love laid to rest, um, but yet you're holding on to the what ifs and could have beens. Yeah. And my dad actually made this glass coffin for this video himself. It took him all summer, and then we just waited until it started snowing over here because we really wanted to do this one in the snow. That's also the good part of doing it, the videos ourselves, because we just can be
Very
spontaneous.
flexible.
Yeah,
Yeah,
flexible.
exactly.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, can you tell me? I did touch on a Last Side Bliss. Tell us about that track as well, because that was a beautiful track as well, and the film clip we already talked about, though.
Yeah, it's our newest single,
Yes, I
and
know.
it's actually inspired just by I have a honeysuckle bush in my garden, and I always in all summer I go to smell the flowers at night because in the evening it started to intensify, and this scent actually sort of inspired me for this song, which is a bit weird, but yeah. And another thing
I don't
that
think it's
ins
weird, by the way.
okay.
No,
I fully understand it.
Yeah,
no,
okay.
because I had a honeysuckle bush when we were near where I was a kid, and I'd always go out there and get the
Yeah,
little.
That
right. Yeah.
smells amazing.
And then we released a separate single last year called Moonflower, and there was this ending scene. And I remember recording it. It was very cold, and this last scene inspired this song as well, because I was very cold, but I was in some sort of embrace by this other person. Yeah, Mariana. This was yeah, this both things inspired this song.
Yeah, and you guys have a massive headline European tour as well coming up as well. You must be excited really to kind of start playing this album on the road as well. Are there any tracks you've been playing so far that you've really been enjoying playing live, or any you haven't yet that you want to play live?
We've actually played several songs from the new album already live. We played Harpy before it was released live,
Yeah,
which
it was
at
a bit
that
scary.
point, exactly, was a bit scary. And in hindsight, it didn't feel right to
Yeah.
play
Well,
a song that wasn't released.
the show didn't went very well because
No,
we
we
had a
had a
lot
lot
of
of technical issues.
yeah. So and then we played an unreleased song which was maybe a bit yeah,
Too
of
much.
a wrong choice.
Yeah. But ever since it was released, we've actually been playing, Floriography. We've been playing live
Yes.
almost every show already. Harpy, we've played The Fossilized Widow a couple of times. But it's a very heavy song, so we usually, or right now, only play it when we have plenty of time.
Yep.
If it's just a 40-minute set, we'll usually leave it out. But to be honest, this new album, from a musician perspective, it was also slightly musically written to support this band live a bit more. So
Yeah.
we did think of some tiny things and details in the songs that would work for us live, and that's where I'm very excited about, playing these songs live because
I think we also plan to play like a lot of these new songs during the tour.
yeah, I
So
think
yeah.
maybe every one apart from one or two,
Yeah.
perhaps.
Yeah.
So it will be hopefully it will be 1,000 Little Deaths tour, and it will be a release show every show.
Yeah.
Exactly. It's got some amazing hooks in it and definitely some really powerful songs that stick with you long after hearing it. Zora, Renee, thank you so much for taking the time to chat with me. Absolutely, really do appreciate it. 1,000 Little Deaths, as we mentioned, drops 22nd of August through Nuclear Blast. You can catch these guys all over Europe. Hopefully, get you down under soon one day, very, very soon. Any
We are
last
working
Working
words?
on
on
it.
it.
I
Yeah.
know, dude.
Hopefully
Yeah.
next year.
Hopefully next year everyone needs to
Yeah,
grab
yeah.
the album. Till then, crank it loud so they can be singing along when you get over here. Last words, shout outs, thank yous, or anything else you'd like to add in there, my friends.
Well, we would like to thank you, man, for taking the
Yeah.
time to talk to us. Massively appreciate it. We cannot wait to go to Australia as soon as we
Yeah.
possibly can.
It's
So
on the top of our list, so we're working on it.
definitely,
Yeah.
Till
yeah.
then,
And again, appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you so
thank
much.
you. Till then, everyone get some Blackbriar, put in the stereos, crank it up loud for the neighbours. Thank you very much. Cheers.